Hey, it's a Humble Collector here, and today's video we're going to be looking at another death card that I've translated. This one I got a couple months ago, and I honestly don't know why it's taken me this long to get around to translating it, but I finally have. That's a pretty interesting one. It's for an officer in a Panzer Division, interestingly. Before I get started with that, I want to talk a little bit about last video. I've gotten a Marine Corps hymn pamphlet that had been stuck to this white piece of kind of like poster board almost. And I received a very good comment saying if I used a hair dryer, I might be able to loosen the adhesive enough to get it off the back. And yeah, as you can see, I managed to do that. That proved incredibly useful. So I believe the commenter was Patent 1945-1. So thank you for that. Yeah, I did get a little bit of tearing up here on the Marine Corps flag. That was more because I was working too quickly to get it off than anything wrong with the method. It actually worked pretty well. The other one was down here. You can't even see where it was, really. And yeah, definitely worth getting off. There's kind of this nice border that has like different Marine Corps ranks, different patches, badges. Pretty cool. It's actually a neat little reference and not something you'd expect on a thing of sheet music. So thank you once again for that comment. So if anybody else has a similar situation where it's stuck to the back of something, maybe try heating it up with a hair dryer. Use a low setting. You definitely don't want to get it too hot. So yeah, thank you again, Patent 1945-1, for that. So without further ado, we're going to get to the death card here. And this is the death card of Rudi Hennermann. Now, this is written in kind of a Gothic script, or printed in a rather Gothic script, meaning that there were a few words I couldn't really translate, more or less just because the Gothic script was getting in my way and I couldn't tell what two letters were getting smushed together there. So where necessary, I filled in some words with stuff that makes sense, kind of. So obviously this isn't an exact translation. If you'd like to correct me, feel free to do so down below. And yeah, so for those of you who've never watched a death card video here before, basically death cards were produced in Germany from, I believe, the mid to late 1800s through World War I, World War II. They really don't do them anymore. You know, now they just print something like this in the local newspaper. But they give an interesting look at some of the people who actually fought in World War II, those who fell. I believe most of my death cards, in fact all of them up to this point, are from the Eastern Front. And this one's no different. So I've translated it here. So at the top here we have, in memory of our dear, unforgettable son and brother, Rudi Hennermann, who is actually an Obertruppführer in the RAD. I butchered that, I apologize. Yeah, he's an Obertruppführer. He was also a Gefreiter in a Panzer Division, and bearer of the Iron Cross 2nd Class, which you can see is printed up there. This word right here, Melker or Nwelker, I couldn't really get that one to translate. I think it means fell or when. I think it's when, because they talk about his death later on. I think it's when on December 28th, 1941, in the fulfillment of duty before the enemy in the East, in the 28th year of life, for leader and fatherland, the hero's death suffered. Something along those lines. And then down here at the bottom we have, so sweet, so warm were you, so faithfully fulfilled your duty. Now you are going to, another word I couldn't translate, somewhere in this Emgen and R. I don't know if those are abbreviations for something or what's going on there, but I think it means stand before God's holy face, something like that for the rest of that sentence. Oh, deeply feel the pain, your loss or death, I'm not sure which one, is still too early, but you live in our hearts, for you will never be forgotten by us. And then on the back here we have St. George, help us in the fight against all enemies. A little prayer there on the back, which is pretty common with death cards like these. So yes, besides being a Gefreiter in a Panzer Division, he was also in the RAD. And yeah, he fell in very late 1941, December 28th. Yeah. So yeah, death cards are pretty interesting. I've started to actively seek them out because I find them fascinating. They give a really interesting look into people who actually fought on the German side during World War I and World War II, though I unfortunately don't have any World War I death cards at the moment. So yeah, thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a comment down below. Love hearing from you guys. Happy collecting, and I'll see you all again soon.